What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Table Talks. My name is Riley.
My name is Nick.
And I am Mike.
Mike's here. That one time you probably saw it coming. I kind of mentioned this one a while back that I waited to discuss the show in a video until you were here.
True.
Because I needed somebody as nerdy as I am about the shit I saw to talk about it. And Nick has just been letting me fucking down this whole time. Hasn't even finished the show 100% yet.
I've not watched it all the way through yet, but I've probably seen damn near the whole series.
Yeah, I think you pretty much have. You just kind of saw. You saw like the last three, then the first three, then
a couple in the middle, then the end again.
Yeah, but there's so much with this show, and I would say by far, I don't even think anything's really close in my head. Is the best thing in horror in 2018.
Yeah,
movies and television.
I've seen
so?
Yeah, movies and TV.
I mean,
Quiet Place is up there, but it doesn't. Quiet Place and Hereditary are the only ones I can argue that could fit into that category. Those are your top three without a fucking doubt. I don't think anything.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, those three. I don't think there's anything that can touch those three.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, Haunting of Hill House is something really special. Like there is so much attention to detail. And like we talked about this on our live table talks, but we're doing it again because it's fun. But like, there's just so much. There's so many little things, and for Mike Flanagan is going to be fucking huge in this genre because he just gets it. The guy cares
He really does.
so much about what he's doing.
When Netflix gives him, full reign, which Netflix does, they give their production companies and their director full range of resources.
Yeah.
And when you let Mike Flanagan do what he does best, you get masterpieces. I mean, you even look at Hush.
Yeah.
And Hush was very good. Gerald's Game was very well done as well. And then The Haunting of Hill House is just something we haven't seen.
Yeah, it seriously is insane. Every time I've seen it almost all the way through now 3 times. And I've seen several episodes like 5 or 6 times because they blow my fucking mind. Of course, like episode 6, I could watch that shit like all day. Yeah. Like the fact that they wrote the show, they knew in episode 6 that they wanted to have it was a 4-take episode.
Mm-hmm.
Or 5-take episode.
5.
Driven by 3 really, really long ones. Like they knew they wanted to do that, and they knew they wanted to go from the funeral home into the house. So when they built the set for the show, they had to have that episode in mind and built the Hill House combined with the funeral home.
Yeah,
like you have to know you're going to do that. Then they filmed 3 weeks, or they walked through it for 3 weeks with fill-ins.
Yep,
showed them how they were going to do it, then showed the cast how this is how it's done. Like, be ready. Could you imagine all the people it would take to choreograph the lighting here, the ghosts coming in here? Because there's like 15 ghosts in that fucking episode just in the background. Or not even so much. Well, there are a lot of ghosts, but then like statues moving. You have kids that need to hit every single spot and not fuck up. And it just blows my mind that it's one thing if adults are doing it and are getting through it and not messing up, but have kids at the age of 7 or 8 years old hit all their lines. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, no, and they did it.
Yeah, it's insane. They need to have like a 2-hour documentary just on how that episode was done.
I hope we can sometime see the making of, have the stand-ins there, and have Mike Flanagan directing the stand-ins and filming the stand-ins, showing the actors the film of the stand-ins and getting them in place. And I really hope we see something like that. They had to film behind the scenes for that.
Well, yeah, there's like a 3-minute video on YouTube about episode 6. But you need so much more to go over it. Like, yeah, you get to see there's one part that always kind of blows my mind. So there's like I don't even know how you would call it. It's like a pulley system that the camera operator, he gets on it, then they lift him up to the balcony, then he gets off and continues up the upstairs of the house, and he gets back on and drops him back down. Then they had him on like a dolly, or not a dolly system, but like imagine like a fridge dolly. Imagine that, okay? Like where you're moving heavy items, that kind of dolly. Like he would stand on it, and people would push him, and then you get off and keep walking. It's
nuts.
Yeah, no, it was incredible. The longest take was 17 minutes, they said, and then five shots, and that episode was 50 minutes.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
No, that's insane. I read that was part of the original pitch to Netflix. Was that episode?
Oh wow!
And Netflix was like, "Fuck yeah,
yeah,
we want to see that."
Yeah, it's insane. I mean, there's so much. There's they get back to the funeral home, then the cat's got to be knocked over. Somebody has to put buttons on her eyes. There's a part where you see the dad gets into the house, and then he sees the kids at first, and then it spins around him, and then it's back to the adults in the same position. Like you couldn't tell. I slapped my forehead right there. It blows my mind what just that episode alone what they had to do. Then there's on top of that, I mean, just you can tell how much detail they put into that and how much effort had to go into that, which I respect as a filmmaker. I respect that. That's just insane. But then you look at the little things in the background. I think films that take advantage of the fucking foreground and background are genius. Like James Wan is known for doing that shit a lot, and like Insidious and The Conjuring. Just if you see it, it's terrifying. If you don't, oh well, it doesn't change anything. Yep, you still get the same plot and story that you were supposed to get. But man, when you see him, that shit like hits me in the gut, dude. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah. He's looking right at me.
He's looking right at me. He's right there. And I missed the first time I watched Haunting of Hill House. I missed like all of the ghosts.
Yeah,
like fucking all of them. I probably noticed like 2, and I thought I was being all cool. I was like, hey, dude, I caught an Easter egg. Then I go back and I see like IGN has a video on YouTube that points out and they miss some quite a bit in their own video. There's ones they miss.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, which is pretty funny.
I haven't seen that video.
It's funny because there's like this little head in the corner, and they point out that little head, but there's a fucking main huge ghost right there. It's like, how did you miss the one right there? Well, yeah, I miss like all of them. There's one that's obvious as shit in the kitchen, and it pans over, and there's a fucking ghost standing in the fucking cupboard area, just looking at him, like clear as day. I don't get how I missed it.
I think I saw that one actually.
I don't know how I missed it. I was pissed off myself. It's, you know, like that video. With the it's like, hey, count how many times these people pass the ball, and then the gorilla walks in, and most people miss the gorilla because they're so focused, on the passing and counting. That's what like happened to me. I'm like, how the fuck did I miss that ghost?
Damn
God.
gorilla.
That seriously is like one of my favorite parts of the show is the fact that all those like just hidden ghosts are there. There's no attention brought to them, no loud music to point them out,
but they're
there. It also has some of the most effective scares that out of 2018. I think Haunting of Hill House has the most effective scares of 2018 on everything. I don't think Hereditary or Quiet Place even touched the scares that fucked with me in Haunting of Hill House.
Yeah.
Like, dude, man, because the one in episode 9 or I think 10 is when they're in the car. That one.
Isn't that 9? That's 9.
I think it's probably 9. I think it's 9. But yeah, it's Shirley and Theo driving in the car. And they're just yelling at each other and arguing like siblings do. And all of a sudden, the fucking ghost pops out and it just screams, dude. And I told this story a million times about Rachel, but like I fell asleep and she just started bawling when that part happened. I mean, it's scary, man. The part freaks me out. That's just super effective.
The build up to it's like really good too, because I mean, it's like a build up of screaming and stuff, and then all of a sudden just. You know, it's just like
Yeah, it's funny because I could tell by watching it that the actors didn't know when it was coming. Like the girl that plays Theo, Mike Flanagan's wife, by the way, which is Nito Burrito. She literally like freaks out. She like legitimately jumps, and then she has to scream. But God, that scares effective. There's a whole bunch of scares that are good. I mean, you have the part where Luke goes into the basement. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That one's one of the ones that like still gets me a little bit, like with the I mean like the hand like popping out and stuff, you know, like that's classic. Like that we did that in Jack, but like but then like just like the like dead body thing that like starts crawling towards him, like that's scary. I don't like that. And then you don't see him for a long time either. You just hear him screaming, and it's just like, oh my gosh, what's happening to him?
I'm trying to think of some of the other scares because there are some legitimately good jump scares. You have the tall man, the top hat guy. I didn't think that part was all that scary. But okay, fucking the bet neck lady is terrifying.
You think so? I wasn't as scared about the
I hate hangings.
Fuck
that shit. I hate hangings. It messes with my head. And like the second I fucking saw that, bent neck lady. I was like, well, that's a hanging victim. So, and I put together well before. Everyone's like freaking out about that twist that it was Nell the whole time. I knew at least 2 episodes before it was revealed. So in episode 3, I'm pretty sure I got it figured out.
I was back and forth between like whether it was Nell or it was like the mom, because they had talked like about how like the mom had committed suicide.
Yeah, they didn't really say how she did it.
Yeah, so that's kind of why I was wondering like, is that her? Or like, and then I was also thinking like, is it Nell? And there's a really like good line that like foreshadowing line that the mom drops at one point where she's telling the dad that he needs to like clean up the upstairs, or else
someone's gonna
hang. Like she says like literal bodies hanging, and she's like, I can see it now or whatever like that.
Yeah, well, I also, because she mentioned the necklace and that she can have it when she's older, so I knew the second that her mom was saying like put on the necklace, I was literally I was sitting here by my fucking self saying out loud like, oh, she just put on the fucking noose, bro. She just put on the fucking noose. I was so ready for that part. God, it's just. But then again, like the second they said that Nell hung herself, I was like, yeah, I mean, come on, who do you think that is? It doesn't really. The one thing with her, like how her boyfriend or husband dies. Because
aneurysm.
Yeah, but it seemed like the bedneck lady killed him.
Right.
But why would she do that? Why? Like she saw it happen. Like when you see her from her perspective, when it finally is her as the bedneck lady, she just can't, she looks at him just like she does when she's on the bed. She can't do anything. He's just there.
Yeah.
So did he actually have a fucking aneurysm? And that's just a tremendous coincidence.
I mean, I think it must be like, I don't know. I think it's just like the house, like messing with her, Yeah.
I don't know. I was going into the show blind. I heard good things, lose like a little bit, but I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't think it'd be that scary for sure. I go into that first episode and Steve sees Nell. That's how he's convinced that there's ghosts, and he sees her and it's her like screaming at him. After that, I was like, "Yep, this is gonna be bad. This whole night's gonna be bad."
Yeah.
I binged the whole show in one night. And then, of course, there's the cat with the bugs. Good times. I don't know if any other sketches really stand out, but dude, okay. Here's some of the ghosts that bother me the most. When Theo finds the door to the basement, she finds the door. Hey, did you notice the ghost when she opens the door?
I don't think so.
Go look at that one. It's fucking scary. When she opens the door and it reveals the steps, there's a fucking ghost behind the steps.
Is there really?
Looking through between the steps, looking up at her. Like, I'm getting chills thinking about it. That's fucking so scary. And it's like, how did you not notice it the first time you saw it? I didn't notice it. Then I go looking through and like IGN's video, I'm like, holy shit, that is terrifying. God. It messes with my fucking head. Yeah, that was definitely one of the better hidden ones. Gosh, I don't know. I'm trying to think off the top of my head if there's anything other crazy parts. And then there's like the red room element of the show, which is like, if you're in the red room, you are the key to the red room, and you see what you want to see in it.
Yeah.
Steve saw a game room. Theo saw a dance room. Shirley, something stupid, I'm sure.
True.
Luke had the tree house. It should have been obvious. It should have been obvious because all of them have the same fucking window, that rectangular window.
Yeah.
But what's more interesting about it is that every single one of the rooms, there's one red object that stands out. Like, if you go to the kids part of it, there's Steve was on a red beanbag chair. Theo had I don't know what happened with Theo when she's a kid, but whatever. They all have the red objects. Speaking of which, did you know that the dad? Did you know he's a kid in E.T.?
Yeah,
I did not know that.
I did.
Yeah, well, that's kid in E.T.
Interesting.
And Luke has an ET lunchbox in the treehouse.
Oh,
Easter eggs.
You do.
But yeah. But when you go to the adult versions, the only reason like it becomes clear that they're in the red room is like you have Steve's adult red room was him with his wife. He's wearing a red sweater, I'm pretty sure. Theo, the Asian girl that she's with is wearing red bra and panties. Which, by the way, her tattoos are dope.
Yeah.
Didn't expect those tattoos. I like them. Luke has red Converse on. And even though he wore black ones the entire show. And then Nell, her mom, was wearing the red dress. Then she died.
Yeah.
And I cry every time. One of the things, I don't know if I talked to you about this already. I imagine I did.
Maybe.
But I was taking a shower thinking about the show because I couldn't stop fucking thinking about the show. And I was like, I had like an epiphany. I'm like, dude, it's the fucking 5 stages of grief. Which I got confirmation on that. I looked it up after that, after it hit me. I looked it up and Mike Flanagan said that it was a good catch. Somebody else noticed it too. But the 5 stages of grief, denial, anger, depression, or denial, anger, depression,
bargaining.
So it'd be denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. So, in order, from oldest to youngest with the siblings, is these 5 stages of grief. Steve is denial. He doesn't accept their ghosts and all this other shit. Anger is Shirley, because she sucks. Bargaining is Theo. That one's kind of harder to accept, but she does. Because she wants to feel again. So like she wants to feel whatever. She'll do anything to feel again after she touches Nell.
Right.
And then depression is obviously, Luke, drugs and shit. And then acceptance, Nell. I mean, she's accepted so far, but she went back and killed herself. She accepted it.
Yeah. Interesting.
So
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. I don't know why that hit me. I watch a lot of House, so just kind of hit me. That reminded me of some of the scares too. Is like when they're in the fucking morgue, like and the mom's there all of a sudden, things like that.
Yeah.
When Nell sits up, dude. When Theo touches Nell, and just screams. Like, I don't know why, that fucked with me. That was another one that hit me in the gut, dude. I was like, oh, man.
Well, that was in episode 3, wasn't it?
I think so.
I think so. That was one of my favorite episodes throughout the whole thing. But yeah, I completely agree. Like, when she just, like, touches Nell and just loses it, like,
yeah.
I was thinking, like, oh, God, what did she see, Because, like, we were told in that episode that, like, she has that power to, like, feel things and then, like, feel things, but, and see kind of what happened or what's going on and everything, but yeah, it was just like, oh God, what did she do?
Even when you see this smiling face,
that was great. That was such a good part of the movie or the TV
show.
The show. It felt like a movie at times, though.
It's seriously that, because you see that not only the character that little girl put into her head was scary, but when she's laying there and she looks up and sees that face. That was another one. I'm like, oh no, another gut one. Fucking God, that's pretty crazy. She should be a detective. That's probably what she should really go into. I mean, I respect the whole child psychology stuff, but probably should go into being a detective. You could probably do a little more saving lives that way, and still help kids. But hey, who am I to say? Is there anything else we should discuss in terms of the show? It's fucking mind blowing. I love everything about that show.
So knowing Netflix, knowing just studios in general, sequel, season 2. They, of course, there are always talks about season 2, but all the cast members are like, sure, I'd love to come back. Which is kind of weird. You think they would see the masterpiece that they've created and know that there's no more story to tell. Mike Flanagan literally came out and said, I don't know. I feel like the Crane story has been told. So
yeah, I don't really think I don't see where a sequel goes from here. We kind of got a lot of conclusion on their like everybody that was like involved in the story's like lives,
Yeah.
So I don't know where it goes from there, unless like I don't know, if someone buys Hill House again and we follow their story or something like that.
It wouldn't feel right.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't feel right. I should have mentioned this when we talked about the Red Room part already, but the show ends with you seeing it's 2 days of being clean for Luke. And then there's, well, first of all, 7 people again, which is a nice touch because of the whole counting to 7 to be
1,
safe.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah.
But the cake is fucking red. It's a red cake. They chose to put that fucking cake as red. Like, you couldn't tell me that was an accident. So Mike Flanagan says that they're not in the house and they're safe. That's how he interprets it. But like, why is the cake red? Are they in the Red Room? Are they in Luke's Red Room right now? I don't know. It just seems, out of everything that happened in the last 10 goddamn episodes, of every little fucking detail being important, and you mean to tell me that red cake wasn't on purpose? I
think it's to make you think, like, ooh, it did the whole thing that Escape Room just did on us, and it's supposed to make you think, oh, are they out? Are they actually out, or are they still like part of this?
Yeah,
Mike Flanagan should not have said anything. He should have been like, "It's up to you."
Yeah, I wish he wouldn't have too.
Yeah,
I wish he would have just been a mystery.
Yeah,
it's up to you. There's talks of some of the cast members. We could go back to the house, and I'm the gatekeeper of the house, or we could do an anthology type of thing. Listen, you don't need a season 2 of everything.
Yeah, it's not. It's just a long and well done movie.
It really
just
is.
Leave it.
Yeah, a 10-hour movie.
Yeah.
About maybe a little longer.
Yeah. Maybe probably a little longer.
And I believe it has a 92% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Should have higher.
Should be a fucking 100. Listen, the thing about Rotten Tomatoes, it's either it's all or nothing. So
92.
Fresh or rotten. I don't get how you can watch that show and say it's rotten though. There had to be something you took away from Haunting of Hill House.
It's got an 8.8 out of 10 on IMDb as well.
That's pretty goddamn high.
I'm trying to load Rotten Tomatoes to see if
it's probably my favorite Netflix series today. I Stranger Things, fine, whatever. Like, I like it, but dude, that is the best horror series I've ever seen. It's truly horror. Like, it truly is terrifying.
Yeah. Well, the audience score is 91. The tomato meter's 92. So I can't find any reviews for some reason. I don't know if it's just the internet not loading or what, but what is really truly where you could sit there and say this is a rotten ass movie? This isn't fanboying or anything. Like,
it's probably somebody that just hates horror movies.
Yeah, I mean,
that's usually what happens with horror movies.
We look at things critically, and critically, it's a fucking masterpiece.
Yeah, how do you look at episode 6 and like think, oh,
and say, nah, they didn't cut enough.
they didn't cut enough. We needed more takes.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Yeah, no, it's very well done. Like, usually I'm one to watch a show that has a story been told, like Stranger Things, Haunting of Hill House, and I'm not one to rewatch those type of things.
Yeah,
and horror as well. Like, horror shows I don't really watch, but I will definitely rewatch all the way through at some point Haunting of Hill House, because I mean, it's just from a filmmaking standpoint as well, just very well done.
Yeah, it's insane. It literally fucking just blows my mind. Not many things can make me get that excited, like where I need to talk about it, and I want to point out things to everybody. Like, I want to go. I'm going to show you guys some things after this. We're going to go back and watch some things right after this. I'm going to show you some of the things I noticed, because it's fucking crazy. I don't think I have anything else to say. If you've seen Haunting of Hill House, please let us know your thoughts in the comments below. It is just, it's so good. And if you hated it, I'd actually really love to hear that too, because I want to know why you could hate it. I want to know what I'm missing. That
I do too, because it's great.
Yeah,
it's a good show.
Yeah, I don't know it, especially if you are a horror fan that hates Haunting of Hill House. That interests me. Just what makes you hate it? I doubt there's any of you guys that actually hate it, though. I imagine a lot of us are on the same page.
Yeah.
I don't know. I heard some of the people say the kid acting is really cringy.
No.
I mean,
there's moments maybe, but dude, they did pretty damn good.
Yeah, for kids, there's been worse kid acting for sure, I would say, and it's definitely not something I think that really takes away from the feeling of the film.
No, and then like Luke. Like, Luke's the kind of kid that I would die for to make sure nothing ever happened to him. Like, that kid is so cute and innocent. Nothing ever deserves to happen to him, man. We must keep him safe. As a community, we must keep him safe and not let him age either. I tell you what, though, if he grows up to be like adult Luke, where he's a handsomer Aaron Rodgers, he's got a good future ahead of him. It's a good-looking fella. He legitimately does look like Aaron Rodgers, though. Just saying.
A little bit.
Like, now that I've said it, you won't be able to unsee it. That's fucking Aaron Rodgers. I want to point out one more ghost, which I'm going to show you after this because it's so fucking good. That part where Nell wrote well, her mom was mad because Nell wrote in crayon on the wall or whatever. The whole scene where Theo feels it and whatnot. First of all, there's a ghost behind Theo. That one I noticed. That's one of the two I noticed.
Oh, really?
There's a ghost behind her. I'm like, because I kept saying to Nick and Rachel, I was like, is that her? Because I thought it was adult Theo watching her in the future. Like, that's what I thought was happening. But no, it's just a random ghost. But in that same scene, behind, like, underneath the piano, there's a fucking ghost there. Just, you can see her old goddamn hands. And I just got chills. I literally just got chills, like, thinking about it. That's so scary. That's arguably the best one in the show. I've heard a lot of people say that's their favorite. But literally, like, because as the angles change, you get a better look at her, and it's just, you keep seeing the hands creep up, and it's... Boys, God. The other one I was telling you about before we started recording is the one in the basement.
Yeah.
And during the black mold and shit. And all the cops are there after they find the body. And behind the cops, there's an old woman where you see her hand over the wall and then just the half of her face. Whew. God. Okay, well, that's going to wrap up today's video. If you enjoyed, make sure you drop a like and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. Do you want to do the outro this time? I messed it up every time.
No.
No, you don't want to do one?
No, I think it's fine.
Oh, okay. You want to say anything?
No. I don't want to say anything.
All right. See you guys.